So welcome to our session. As you heard in the keynote, we've just announced the Magento Enterprise Cloud Edition. And so I'm going to give you a little bit more of the technical overview, walking through some of the elements of this. I'm Doug McKeever. I'm Director of Product Management at Magento. I've been involved in Magento for quite a long time, and I just recently returned. I'm very excited to be part of this new product. I want to say a couple words about SAS Applications, just echoing some of the things that Peter said before I get into some of the technical detail. There are a lot of great things about SAS Applications. They really are easy to deploy, easy to run, easy to operate. But for e-commerce experiences, they're really closed, right? They put a lot of barriers in place. Developers get locked out from creating deep customizations and really differentiating merchant sites and creating innovative features. And at the same time, merchants get locked in. They're locked in for roadmaps, they're locked into the service. And for e-commerce experiences, these can be significant challenges. All right? And so at Magento, we sort of stepped back and we said, how can we combine the power and flexibility of Magento, everything we love about the product, everything we love about the openness, with the ease of the cloud, right? And then how can we do that in such a way that we're better empowering the Magento community to keep doing the types of things that you do? With that, I'm really excited to introduce the Magento Enterprise Cloud Edition. It's something that the ideas have been a long time coming. A lot of thought has gone into this over the years. And with that, let's dive in. So as Peter said, at its base, we're using Amazon Web Services for the cloud infrastructure. Amazon's obviously a leading provider of cloud technology and services, and it allows us to quickly and easily provision resources dynamically in a secure environment. And as Peter said, approximately 30% of Magento merchants are already running on AWS. So what we're really trying to do here is accelerate that trend and give better tools to let everybody work with these services. As we were looking for a cloud partner, we wanted a trusted industry leader with a proven track record and a strong technology roadmap. And we really found that in our partnership with Amazon. All right, so moving on. The area I'm going to spend most of the time in this presentation is really around our platform as a service capabilities. We're providing a robust platform as a service to meet the needs of our developers and merchant community. These capabilities are based on technology from our partner, platform.sh. They have a strong background and strong support for PHP and deep experience in e-commerce. So one of the main things that platform.sh's PaaS gives us is that it can provide a running full stack of instance of Magento for any branch of a Git repository, right? And this can be provisioned seamlessly and easily by a developer without additional support at the click of a button. These environments can be provisioned in just minutes. So this capability really streamlines the testing and deployment workflows, allowing for developers to focus on coding rather than configuration of systems and environments. It also provides a completely repeatable deployment process with all configurations checked into the source control system. The only way to push changes into production is via Git. This repeatability of the process reduces the challenges when deploying to production, and allowing for features to be shipped more quickly, and for you and your merchants to innovate and iterate more quickly on the features and functions of the sites. Now, as I said, this process is really focused on the testing and deployment cycles. By making these cycles faster, our Cloud Edition allows you to really work in an agile flow with quicker iterations and more frequent pushes to production. Developers can code, test, deploy, and repeat in faster cycles. And it really allows you to develop a culture of sort of DevOps and iterative development and a really agile workflow. Imagine being able to send your stakeholders a URL for any feature you wanted them to review without any coordination or any contention for a resource with other groups. So let's take a look at some of the capabilities of the PaaS. So here we have a video that's going to be playing. You can see the creation of new branches within the PaaS environment. The PaaS has a mirror of your Git repository. That Git repository can be hosted in GitHub, Bitbucket, or in your own Git servers. However, when you create a branch in the PaaS, it's different than just creating a branch in Git. You are creating a separate branch in the repository in the PaaS, but you're also creating a full running stack instance of Magento that is associated with that branch, along with a copy of the database and all files from the parent environment. So it allows you to very quickly get up and test, make sure that you are delivering against the the production environment or the data set that you're expecting to. And all this can be done on your behalf in minutes at the click of a button. Each developer can provision their own instances and their own environments as they need without coordination. So each of these running instances can be accessed with its own URL. Developers have full access to these environments using SSH to review logs, upload files, and connect to services like the database or the search engine. Setting up the access control is completely done within the pass. You can control the access via an IP whitelist, HT access, or both. And again, that's just configured within the environment. So you don't need a system administrator to help set that up. The goal here is really to free up developers to be able to test and validate their development without needing additional support and reducing the friction to running a truly agile development process. All right, configurations that vary between environments are also managed within the pass environment. For example, you can ensure that production credentials for your gateway are only used in the production environment, while all the other environments are using sandbox credentials. Since the pass manages these variables, you do not need them checked into source control or managed in code. And when you create these, the values are inherited for all the other child branches and child environments that are created below that. This allows you to seamlessly provision and configure Magento as you work with the running environments. You can see here it's setting up a new value and saving that, and so it's inherited for this branch and all the child environments associated with branches below this. All right, the pass also opens up more collaboration environments for development teams. The platform provides branch-level access control, then restricts who can commit to those branches. This is particularly important in regards to controlling who can push code to production, but it also enables different collaboration models, particularly if you're looking at sort of outsourcing certain parts of work, or you have a company that's only working on theme development and you only want to give them access to that branches associated with that type of development. All right, so in addition to the GUI that you're seeing, the pass provides a command line interface as well. This command line tool is installed locally and is based on the same APIs as the GUI. This means you can interact with the pass from your local machine. It enables pass functions to be scripted, so you can further automate either deployment processes or integrations into continuous integration and development flows. The command line interface, like all of the pass capabilities, are really intended to improve developer efficiency. Like we're trying to make it so that people can focus on coding and creating custom features, really customizing Magento and tailoring, as opposed to having to go through deployment or change how you work in your local development environments. You really never need to interact with the GUI unless you really want to. This is the key takeaway. So as I mentioned, the pass technology has strong support for PHP. Composer has really become the standard for package and dependency management within the PHP world. And with Magento 2, we adopted Composer, really trying to keep in step with the needs of our PHP developers. The platform as a service builds the application using Composer as well. Right? It's just integrated into the workflow. So as you add extensions or change themes and update your Composer files, the pass will know how to build those and incorporate those dependencies into your application. All right, so our cloud environment provides the ability to really customize and tailor for your projects as well, right? Out of the box, we're shipping with defined reference configurations for Magento 2. However, different projects often require different configurations. And all these configurations and services, whether to build processes, deploy processes, or configurations of services, can be defined in easy-to-edit YAML markup files. These files are then interpreted by the pass when it creates the instances and creates those instances on behalf of the developer. So you really don't have to focus on deploying this. You can really focus on the needs of customizing Magento, not on all the associated infrastructure that you need to run, test, and deploy Magento websites. Right? Again, the focus here is really trying to make everything as easy and as configurable as possible. All right, so we also have talked a lot about sort of the deployment to the production environment. So one of the features that we're also providing here that was mentioned by Peter is a tight integration between the production and testing environments. With our cloud edition, we are providing a managed production environment. This comes with a 99% availability SLA, and that covers the full hosting stack, right? So all of the elements of the PaaS in the production environment are monitored, managed. Each deployment is being deployed onto its own set of AWS servers. And as Peter said, these are triple redundant, running in separate Amazon data centers. So you have quite a bit of redundancy and resilience to any issues that are happening on the AWS side. As I said, there's 24/7 monitoring and the ability to scale the resources used by the site based on the actual demands. Or you can also do that proactively if you have a big merchandising or marketing event coming up. Do that in advance in anticipation of that. Again, you have your choice of deployment, going back to Amazon, you have your choice of deployment locations. So Magento is obviously a global brand. We have customers and developers around the world. And when you work with Magento Cloud Edition, you can choose the AWS region that you want to run your production instances from most of the available regions that Amazon provides. You know, this flexibility really enables us to support the global community and allows you to locate your resources, locate your server resources as close to your customers and as close to your merchants' target markets as possible. Right, so this has been a really quick overview. We're going to have quite a bit more detail coming up with live demos that you'll be able to see later on. But the core focus, the core goal of this is really how do we empower the Magento community? How do we empower Magento developers to really do the types of customizations and make the types of innovative features that our Magento merchants demand, and give you guys more tools to be able to do that, right? That was one of the core philosophies behind the Magento Cloud Edition, is empowering the Magento development community with these types of capabilities. So moving to the next part of the application, Peter talked to this a little bit. We didn't try and reinvent the wheel here, right? We're working in our PaaS environment. You're working with the Magento 2 Enterprise Edition source code. You have full access to that source code. You can deploy extensions, incorporate custom themes, build custom modules, just as you would expect in any Magento deployment, right? The goal is really not to limit you, but to sort of empower you and enable you. You know, our goal is really to combine all the flexibility and customization you expect with Magento into a streamlined deployment process and the managed production environment in order to have a superior experience for everybody who's using our platform. All right, with that, on top of the e-commerce platform, we're also providing some additional tools from some other partners. Again, these are really focused at improving the quality of the experience for both developers and for the merchants. With that, we're bundling in first New Relic, which is an application performance monitoring tool, and BlackFire.io, which is a PHP-focused performance profiling tool. So New Relic's APM enables monitoring and alerting for production websites. It allows for tracking of resource utilization and identification of application errors, real-time alerting. It's a great tool that many of you are probably familiar with already. And it's really one of the core ways that we're making sure that merchants are getting what they expect out of this platform, ensuring that they get that high level of performance, that high level of quality. The use of New Relic's APM Pro tool is included in our cloud subscription. So this is something that all customers who subscribe to the Cloud Edition will get out of the box. New Relic also has a product called Insights. This is already integrated with Magento 2, and you get a free trial of that with Magento and with pretty much any of the Magento editions, including the Cloud Edition. New Relic Insights provides dashboards and a unified view across both application performance and business performance. So here you can see both the health of the application, the performance AppDex score, or application health index that New Relic provides, along with more business-focused metrics like the conversion rate and the visitor count to the site. This really helps ensure that both the development community and the business community have that single pane of glass, that single view across how the site is performing, both for the technology side and for the business side. and really helps you sort of align the business. You can really demonstrate the value of technology improvements or the impact if there are problems that need to be addressed, and help justify and prioritize based off this type of information. All right, the next tool that we are bundling in and that will be available is BlackFire.io. This is a profiling tool. It allows you to set up assertions that can be triggered to make sure you're meeting the standards that you want for different parts of code. BlackFire is a tool that's created by Sensio Labs and Fabien Potencier. He's the creator of the Symfony framework, so his deep experience in the PHP community. And one of the real main benefits here of BlackFire and why it's a really interesting tool is it can be run both in the development environment, but also in the production environment. It's basically triggered by changing using a browser plugin to change a header on a request, and that triggers the profiling for those users that are authenticated to do that. And allows you to really dig in, understand the performance of the code, identify bottlenecks and problems, and really enhance the overall performance of the site. So again, really trying to provide a complete set of tools to help people build out Magento websites on the Cloud Edition. And we really feel like these tools, both BlackFire and New Relic, are very complementary to each other and really enable developers to have a complete experience. And last but not least, we're including Fastly. For those of you who don't know Fastly, they were announced as a premium partner on the main stage today. They are a Varnish-based CDN. They basically replace the use of Varnish for the full page cache in Magento 2. And what it really enables you to do is take that page cache and put it out on the edge. You're not just caching media and images, but you're getting that full page cache located up on the distributed points of presence. And Fastly is integrated with Magento with a module that Fastly has created that is part of the Cloud Edition. This handles all the cache invalidation and other logic. You can also use Fastly to do most of what you can do in Varnish. You can write custom BCLs, come up with custom logic, have that logic executed at the edge. I've heard some really interesting use cases of people combining content from various CMSs and Magento dynamically. There are also some interesting use cases if you want to dig in around different geolocation services and tailoring content based on locale. And as part of the Cloud Edition, customers are getting in this out-of-the-box integration and the service that's being delivered as part of Fastly. So again, Peter's talking a little bit about pricing in the other session, but we're really trying to give as close as we can an all-in price that, based off the size of the merchant, they have a predictable, repeatable subscription fee that gives them access to all of these services. Let's see. So, and Fastly really does help enable our global merchant base as well. They have distributed points of presence around the globe, our main markets and some other locations. And this really is going to help us help you make sure that the content that's being served to your merchants is as close as possible to those merchants, and really ensure that high performance, consistent experience that we're trying to get for really all Magento merchants on our Cloud Edition. So we're really excited about this technology solution that we're bringing together. All of the components that we pre-integrated and bundled, Fastly, New Relic, BlackFire, the Magento Cloud Edition, the Magento Enterprise Edition source code, all based on Amazon Web Services. We think this is going to create a great solution that's really going to empower developers to be able to take advantage of the ease of deployment and really have a consistent level of experience across all deployments. It's something that I think we've all thought about and talked about internally for a long time, and it's very exciting to see it come to fruition. And with that, I think I've talked a little too fast, but we'd really love you to come to the Magento Cloud Lounge in the Sponsors Marketplace. We are going to have live demos there, and we'll certainly want to have discussions with you, be able to explain more of the capabilities, really ensure that you get to see the product and get any questions you may have about it answered. We're really excited about bringing this PaaS capability to the market. And again, we really think this is going to be a game changer for empowering Magento developers to deliver leading experiences, high-performing experiences that scale dynamically to really meet the needs of our customers. With that, thank you.